Alrighty, well I got the bench cleaned off, I got the drill press station set up, finished hanging all the clamps, got the clamp wall set back up. I think next up I'm going to hang the motor for the dust collection so I can figure out where the filters go, and then that'll allow me to figure out where the tool wall is going to live. So I got to move all that stuff in that corner to do that. So going to be a little while, maybe tomorrow I'll get to that. So anyways, that's where we're at. I think I can actually use the shop now. It's just a little tough on the dust collection so far. Well, I got the CB1800 set in. It's not sealed up yet, certainly not wired up yet. But I needed that in place so I could start laying out the ductwork to help me figure out where all the lighting goes. So that's up there for now, and I'll go to town this next week and get a tube of caulking and get that all cleaned up. So moving on. Well, there I got the first piece of 7-inch main up. I needed to do that before I called the electrician out so he could, because it'll be an external conduit that runs across there, and I needed to know where that lived before I can put up my tool wall. So even though this isn't wired up, I needed to know where that section of piping lived for the electrician to do his thing, and then once he's done, then I'll take whatever real estate is left for my tool wall. Just waiting on the electrician now. So I ended up having to move the table saw quite a bit. Probably, I brought it almost a foot towards my open space, which I didn't want to do. And I brought it almost a foot towards the back, neither of which I really wanted to do. But that made it possible to get the piping around the garage door opener and stay full height over my saw. So now I'll be able to drop the piping in without reducing headspace. And then I'll drop my electrical down there as well for the table saw and whatnot. So should work out just well. Now I just got to run some pipe over there. There I got the table saw in. Coming off of that Y right there, I'll be able to hook up a nice spot for the miter station. All the way down to the saw. Pipe's all level and plumb and looking good. We'll just keep plugging away. Okay, so I got the run put in for the drum sander. Went in pretty smooth. Just tough to keep everything level and neat and tidy around the lights and whatnot. That's why I chose to go up the inside of the lights there instead of across the lights. Would have been shorter, but you'll see there I also have the crawl space into the attic here, which I wanted to leave open. So it just worked out better this way to run it like that. But everything's plumb and level, so should work real well. Well, it's been a slow couple of days to get the ducting in, but for good reason. The electricians were here this morning and got the big cyclone all hooked up, so when I finish all this duct work, that'll be ready to go, and that's just a huge step in the right direction. Also, the new pellet stove has arrived. Still a couple of days out on getting my piping for it. And then I'll get it vented outside, and then we'll have good heat in the shop and I can continue moving on. So next up, we're just going to keep installing the ductwork until I need to take a break and install piping for the stove. So moving on with the ductwork. All right, so I got back to the ducting. The first one we'll talk about, I came down right here to the joiner, and I've just got a temporary hose in there for right now. Eventually that drop will come all the way down, but I've got to order some parts. So I have some parts on order with NordFab. The second pipe you see over there goes to the joiner. And again, I'm just flat short some parts over there as well, and there's a Y off of there that goes to the 14-inch bandsaw, and I'm short that part. So You know, it is what it is. I'll get parts on order, and you know, when they're here, I'll get this all finished up. I did finish getting the table saw all tied in, and the extra hose there I use for cleanup, as well as a run to the planer when I'm using that. So that's all hooked up. But unfortunately, that's just about as far as I can go on piping. So here's a little view from the other side. I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm kind of stuck till I get some parts here. Maybe I get lucky and I can find a local Nordfab dealer, but I haven't had any luck so far. So anyways, I've reached out to them, and if need be, I'll make an order tomorrow, and however long it takes to get the parts here, that's when the parts will get here. In the meantime, because I think I know where all this stuff is going now, I can get back to organizing a little bit of the rest of the shop. So till next time, take care, guys.